Hello, and welcome to our session, Life You Dream, Goal Setting for the New Year. I am Janice Ray, friend of wildness, friend of peace, friend of democracy, friend of hope, of possibility, of healing, of restoration, of a beautiful life unfolding for you, for me, for all of us. It's great to be here. You'll need your journal for this session if you keep one, and if you don't, some paper to write on, and you'll need a writing instrument. And while you're getting that, I'm going to plug my favorite, which is pencils. I carry there's a pen in there. I carry a plastic case of sharpened pencils around with me all the time. I'm on this mission never to buy any more plastic disposable pens. And I got introduced recently to a black wing pencil. It was given to me by a bookstore owner in upstate New York. Apparently Hemingway used them. So it's been a fun pencil to use, a little expensive, but fun. Welcome to an hour together of thinking about our lives and what we offer the world and what we can accomplish. There's a huge brouhaha about New Year's resolutions that only 5 to 6% of them get accomplished, that people forget them immediately, January 1st, that they don't work, and that they're patriarchal. So I don't believe that it matters what you think about goal setting or what you call this session. I only care about our lives, your life, my life, about our desires, about the work we were put on earth to do, period. I hope you don't let rhetoric get in the way of what it takes to bring that to fruition. Do not let forethought of failure keep you from getting clear about your goals and values. This is about how to actualize ourselves. The great Western nature writer and my major professor, William Kittredge, said, or he wrote once, we lose much of what could have been ours because we don't pay good attention while we invent the future. We lose much of what could have been ours. And my friend, the writer, Joni Tevis, said to me once, so she was talking about another person. She said they had a place at the table and they took it. They had a place at the table. We all have a place at the table. Resolutions are an exercise in self-belief, in self-trust, in self-actualization. And I want to remind you of this quote from Rilke. He said, there's an ancient enmity between daily life and the great work. Help me in saying it to understand it. An ancient enmity between daily life and the great work is especially true for women, for people of color, for immigrants, for teenagers. It's extremely true for working class and poor people of all colors and ages and sexes. People asked to do more of the maintenance and repair of life. And it happens also to straight white men over 21. Most of daily life has us forget what could be ours if we took our place at the table. Daily life will attempt to pull you from the great work every time. My friend, the Reverend Antoine Nixon, says it another way. He says there's the life you envision, and then there's the life of the opinion of others. One is going to rule over the other. And if you're not careful, the opinion of others can overrule the life you envision. He calls these things borders. I'm not defined by those borders, he said to me once. We are all put on earth for a purpose. As Antoine also says, bigness or smallness is not the issue. Alignment with your purpose is the issue. So right now, to get clear on where we see our place on earth, it's helpful to get really grounded. So let's take a minute to move toward introspection and inner calm. Where you're sitting, I want you to feel your feet on the floor. You can close your eyes if you like. I want you to relax your feet, all the corners of them. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaws. Relax your pelvis. Very important. Feel yourself getting heavier in your seat. And I invite you to take a few deep breaths with me. Breathe in. Feel the air coming into your nostrils, into your body, filling your lungs. And then breathe out. And as you breathe out, feel gratitude for this beautiful body you've been given, a vehicle of your spirit, your soul. Breathe in deeply, thanking your body for all the ways it holds you, feeling deep love for your strong animal body. Breathe out, slowly making the output longer than the intake. A longer out breath activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the way we respond to emotions, stresses. Let it all go. Couple more breaths. Breathe in. This time, let the breath swirl around your organs, bringing them oxygen and pushing back disease. Breathe out. Breathe in, slowly taking the oxygen, this time moving it all the way down your legs, all the way to your toes, enlivening your feet, which work so hard for you. Breathe out again, long and slow, with a huge love for your wisdom body, your bliss body, your energy body. And let's do one more breath, one more deep breath. All the way in, through your body to the soles of your feet, and then all the way out again, back up and out. Thank you, body. And slowly return to your normal breath. Breath is an anchor. Breath is awareness, awareness of your body, awareness of your heart, your mind, your possibilities. To have insight, you have to have awareness. And very important, for the next 45 minutes, I want you to take the burdens off your back, off your shoulders. I invite you to bundle up your burdens and imagine, just stick them all in a blanket or a bag and tie them up. And I want you to take all these burdens that you've been bearing for the last few days, the last weeks, months, maybe years, maybe all your life. Right now, just take those burdens, bundle them up, and imagine, without getting up from your seat, I invite you to imagine going outside to your favorite tree, to a tree that takes care of you. And just for the purpose of this workshop, leave your bundle on the ground by the tree. Let the tree watch over your burdens for a while. This is my belief. You were born completely good. You were born capable. You were born fully enmeshed in a beautiful web of life, human community, and wild. You're surrounded by humans. You're not alone. You're surrounded by spirits, by your ancestors, by your family, your friends, your lovers. You're bathed in love. You completely belong. Sometimes we're told inaccuracies. We're made to feel shame and powerlessness. We're wounded. We're asked to devalue ourselves. I come in contact with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and I see this over and over and over. So before we get into the work today of you thinking about your goals and us writing them down and me helping you get closer to them, I want to do a guided visualization. It's very short, and I thank Captolia Eaton for showing me how to do this. It'll take about 3 minutes or 4. So I invite you to close your eyes, if you will. We're gonna go to a place, to your place, a place where you have full power, full authority, full belief in life. And as we go to this place, as we journey there, I want you to keep in mind these questions. How would your life change if you fully believed in yourself? What if you lived without borders placed on you by others? What is your greatest vision for yourself? Or another way, what can you do? What have you been given to do that's extremely valuable to the world? So we'll get to work on our goals for next year, but just for a minute, I want you to go beyond today, beyond this week, this month. What are you here to do? See yourself sitting in a room, perhaps the room that you are sitting in, and on the other side of the room is a door. I want you to see yourself get up and walk across that room to the door. Open it and pass through. You'll be in a short chamber, a little anteroom, a hallway, and very soon you see a second door. When you walk through that door, you will be in your place. This is the place you actualize for yourself. This is the vision. I invite you to open that second door and walk through. Step inside. Keep your eyes closed, but look around. What do you see? What's there? What do you see first? Where are you? Start to walk around and take a look at your place. You're completely safe. You're completely in control. You're completely loved. This is the place where gender doesn't matter, skin tone doesn't matter, age doesn't matter, where there are no borders. Are you in a forest, on a beach, on a farm, on a mountain, by a stream, on a stage, in a shop, on an athletic field, at a desk, in an orchard, on another planet? Look around carefully. What objects are there? Pick them up and examine them. You'll want to remember these things. What colors do you see? Are there animals? Which? What do you smell? So just stay here a minute looking around, and you only have a few more seconds because it's time to come back and get to work. So head back to the door, open it, go through, back through the anteroom, and then open the door into the room where you're sitting. Come back. I want you to reach for your journal. You can come back to this later when you have more time, but just for a few seconds, I want you to jot down some of the things you saw in this place so that you don't forget them and forget how you felt there. I'll give you a minute. Actually, I'll give you 30 seconds. What did you see? So some of this is the animals you saw may be your familiars, animal guides. The colors are important. You can keep jotting later, but let's keep going. And so how I'm setting this workshop up, this session, is that we're going to do a series of writing exercises. So you can set an alarm Actually, I'll just set the alarm for you. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes for these first few free writes. Let me tell you, free writing is a habit of writing that was designed by Natalie Goldberg. She talks about it in her book, Writing Down the Bones. So it's a timed unit of writing in which you start with a prompt, which is a line, and you keep your hand moving. You don't edit yourself in any way. You don't care about spelling or margins, and you don't stop. If you get stuck, I invite you to return to the prompt, which I will give you, and start writing again. 2 minutes will go by very quickly. This is one precious hour you have for yourself. And also, every one of these prompts will be made available to you through my Facebook page, or you could DM me and I will send them to you, but you don't necessarily have to write down the prompts to save time. I will say them a few times if you want to write them down. Later, I invite you to return if you want to some of these and do them longer or again. But for right now, the first one, you've got 2 minutes. You're going to have to take a stand for your higher potential. What is it you most deeply want? What is your yearning? So the prompt is, when I dream big, I go. Start writing. I've set the timer. When I dream big, I. You have a minute left, and I invite you to sink deeply into the person you were before anything stopped you, before you believed you could be stopped. When I dream big, I. So start coming to a close. And we're going to go immediately again, 2 more minutes. And this time we're going to do some future casting. So this is the question here is, where do you want to be at the end of this year? The prompt is, a year from now, I'd like, and then a blank, keep going. 2 minutes, go. A year from now, I'd like. A year from now, I'd. So you have about 30 more seconds, and that is a year from now. I'd like, or I will. Don't forget to breathe. Breath is awareness, it's oxygen, it's clarity. Okay, the real barriers to our dreams are usually not what we think they are. We will say, I don't have time. I don't have a following. I don't have money to buy the operating system I need. I don't have a storefront. I don't have investors. Most of the real barriers are part of an inner glass ceiling. And that inner glass ceiling, it's called mindset by the self-help gurus. It's the old stories, the old beliefs. It's capitalism's story. It's the borders, as Antoine says, erected by others, including systemic borders that caused you to sabotage your abilities, that made you feel unworthy, that devalued you, that made you settle, that broke your spirit, that told you how hard things were going to be, that confused you, that told you that security was enough, that children were enough, that minimum wage was enough. So you're going to have to identify these barriers and blocks and borders and dismantle them one by one. 1 minute free ride. What holds me back? Go. 1 minute. What holds me back? You only get a minute. Do not waste time, Michelangelo said to his apprentice. What holds you back? "15 seconds. What's holding you back?" Okay, shake your hands out. Take a really deep breath, blow it out long and slow. We got it. Thank you. Take them out. Another free ride, and then we'll stop riding so much. I know I've got you going hard here, but in this next free ride, I want you to think in terms of money. We are so often asked not to monetize. So many of the precepts that we're told are that money is evil and money is wrong. But I want you to think about money for a while. Money is energy. Money is power. Money is love. Are you being served by money? Are you not being served? Do you need to monetize this big dream you have? Or can you afford to give yourself and your time freely? Is your current income enough? Do you need to double it? Money is a huge, huge issue. It keeps many of us from pursuing our dreams. Maybe your answer is, in terms of money, I have enough. Maybe. I've met or spoken with many, many people who are in very different places financially. I met recently a woman with a tremendous amount. She made a tremendous amount of money in the tech industry. And then her partner was diagnosed with an aggressive cancer. Her partner said to her, "We have more money than we have time." That person is now looking for places to put her money. Another person recently signed up for a writing course with me. She's retired on a fixed income. And you know how lots of things come due at the end of a year, at the end of a calendar year. So she asked if she could pay in installments. And when she sent the first check, she asked me not to cash it until a certain day. There is no shame about where we are with money. We're all trying to navigate the toxic residue of a capitalist system that does not reward folks based solely on hard work, or the immigrant migrant workers who are planting Vidalia onions in the freezing cold where I live would be extremely rewarded. So do some thinking. I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this one. In terms of money, I is the prompt. If you need to revisit this and do more thinking about this on your own time, there are plenty of great books out there about this. But for right now, 2 minutes. In terms of money, I, and I'll hush. In terms of money, I, go. You have about 30 seconds to go. In terms of money, where are you? Okay, come to a stop and let me talk to you for a minute. If you have joined this circle already knowing what you want to do in the world, but maybe not knowing how to get there, you're a lucky person indeed. After my first book came out, that was Ecology of a Cracker Childhood. It was out in 1999. I had given a reading at the Margaret Mitchell House in Atlanta. And afterwards, after the Q&A, during the book signing, a woman, a older middle-aged woman came up to me and she asked, how did you know what you wanted to do with your life? And sorry about that siren, I'm in town. How did you know what you wanted to do with your life? She said, I still don't know. Do you think there's time? And first of all, yes, there's time. You have to assume there's time. But let me give you some advice for what it's worth. Tomorrow, get up and look around at the world. Listen to the news. Scroll through your social media. The first thing that bothers you, ask yourself, what can I do about this? You have to start somewhere. It may not be what you finally end up doing. It may be messy, but it's better to take messy action than no action at all. And I want you to write those 2 words in your journal or on your paper, the whole sentence if you can. It's better to take messy action than no action. If you still need ideas, invite a group of trusted friends to supper, make them a pot of soup and a loaf of bread and ask them, where am I needed? What do you see my gifts being? When you're stuck, ask these friends for help. Other people see things that you may not be able to see. And if you're still stuck, write to me and say so, and I will send you a list of jobs that the world desperately needs. Number 1, plant 10 trees this winter in your neighborhood. Number 2, invite your neighbors over for a meal of soup and bread. Number 3, start a garden and give food away. Number 4, start a pollinator garden, on and on. Also, you may think your dreams are too small for the big problems of the world. But Gandhi said, and I don't know where he wrote this or said it, but I'll look for it. Gandhi said, big problems need small solutions. If what you really want to do and are put here to do is to play more with your grandchildren, then by all means, play more with your grandchildren. That is a very important goal. However, if you are thinking small and easy because you're afraid of big and hard, then you have more work to do. So let's do a few of what I call free thinks. These go very quickly. I will read a sentence to you and you just jot the first thing that comes to mind. That's all. These will also be posted in the end, at the end in Facebook or somewhere you can find them. And I'll repeat each one a couple of times. We're at number 6 right now in our lineup of different free writes and free thinks. What card do I turn over next? So what that really is saying is the first thing I need to do to get where I want to be is blank. The first thing I need to do to get where I need to be is 7. The second thing needing my attention is. The second thing needing my attention is. Number 8, I also need to blank. I also need to. Number 9, 1 minute. What can I do daily? So what is one little piece of the dream? If you only have a small amount of time, what little thing can you do daily? A lot of people say, I want to write a book. You know, one day I want to write a book. Like, what's stopping you? You know, a couple of 100 pages a day, go for it. By the end of the year, you'll pretty much have a draft, right? What can I do daily? Oh, hush, you get 1 minute. What can you do daily? "15 seconds. What can you do daily?" All right, perfect. 1 more minute. What I'm most afraid of. Go. Just write on your paper what I'm most afraid of. 1 minute. What I'm most afraid of. Start, I'm most afraid of. All right, come to a close with that thought. I think it's vitally important to know that our consciousness can change in a flash. This is what epiphany is. The things that we're afraid of, the things that we're told about our power, about, you know, our ability to earn money, our skills or lack of skills, those things can be changed instantly. I know they can. Destiny, your destiny is not a linear process. Sometimes it happens like lighting a stick of dynamite. Sometimes it happens like a chain reaction. like a nuclear reaction. One more free write. Well, you've got a couple more, but this is another 1 minute free write. This is a very important one. What do I need to get this done? What I need to get this done. 1 minute, go. Let me set the timer. 1 minute, go. What do you need to get this done? Okay, come to a stop. I have a lovely yoga teacher named Mary Brown. She operates out of Floyd, Virginia. Mary Brown once told me, she said, Mary told me, smart people can actualize most things they want, she said, but we need to do the right things for the right reasons. So we have, in all of our thinking, we have to leave this space for grace. And in that space, unexpected things can happen. Mary told me that the word vitarka, which is Sanskrit, it has multiple meanings, but one of its meanings is gift or power, your flame, your juice. And I want you to write down this question. Mary asked it of me, and I'm going to ask it of you, and I want you to write it down. You aren't going to answer it now. It's just a question for you to meditate on. So it's, what is your unique quality that is going to help with the evolution of human consciousness? Let me say it again. What is your unique quality that is going to help with the evolution of human consciousness? If your dream does not correspond with your unique quality, your power, your vitarka, then you could encounter roadblocks. And this question definitely takes care of any shame you might have, right? Because this is not about you. This is about what you're put here on earth to do, to speed forward the evolution of human consciousness. And it takes care of your ego, and it takes care of guilt. This is about you, yes, but it's more about what the earth needs from you, what humanity needs from you, what human consciousness needs from you. A few quick free things. What is the old wound that keeps me from reaching your full potential? Answer it, first thought. What is the old wound that keeps you from reaching your full potential? First thought. What's your old wound? Just name it. Next free think. As we turn towards something, we turn away from something else. So maybe a young woman wrote me this week, and she told me that she's sleeping a lot. She's going to bed at 6 p.m. and sleeping all day till late the next morning. And, you know, in order for her to turn toward what she dreams in her life, she's got to turn away from the thing that's keeping her resting and sleeping. We'll talk more about that in a minute. What are you turning away from? As you answer that with just a free thing, just first thought, what are you turning away from? I want to talk a minute about the idea of doing less of what is sapping us, My friend Karen Davis recommended the book 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Burkeman. And the book's premise is that we can drive ourselves relentlessly toward accomplishments, wealth, goals. We can fill every minute of every day. But I love this idea. What are you going to not do to reach your goals? Dust weekly, wash the towels daily, go crazy over Christmas buying. What are you turning away from? What can you turn away from? Number 14, I'm turning toward blank. It's a free thing. First thought, I'm turning toward whatever. Everything's good. Number 15, and I think this is our last one. Who can help me get there? I want you to make this in the form of a list in your journal. You'll have to come back to it because you'll never get there during this, 20 seconds that I'm going to talk about it. Jot names if you know them. If you don't know a name, but like I need a coach, or I need a investor, or jot who can help you get where you need to be. Build the support system you need. Build a cheering squad. Look for experiences and environments and people who support you and are consistent with your goals and values. You're going to have to expand your field of support to be able to play your biggest game. Claire Zammit says, you can't become yourself by yourself. Amplify that support. And just for a minute, I want to show you my journal. I won't open the one from 2021, but I did on January 1st of 2022. I went over the New Year's resolutions from 21, and I wrote whether I had done them or not done them. And for example, one of them is to figure out koji. Koji is I do a lot of fermentation, and I don't understand it, but it's this. Let's just say it's like I would be writing figure out kombucha, or figure out beet kvass, or something like that. I haven't figured it out. I had to buy these little grains and need some barley. And anyway, it was on my list for 2021. I did not get it done. It's on my list for 2022, believe it or not. And that stuff is still sitting in a drawer in my refrigerator, right? But you see, it says find homes for the book Wild Spectacle. Done. Find a home for Woods of Fannin County. Done. And lots of them are like that. In 2022, I tried to do things differently. It looks like this. So what I tried to do is, if I said get outside more, and I don't mean just like taking a walk. I do that daily, taking a walk down through wildness, but I mean bigger get out in nature, like go camping on Cumberland Island. And I wanted to do it at least 5 times. And it looks like I got 5, luckily. But what I did in my journal was actually draw blank spaces for them to go. One of my dreams is to do a large walkabout or a pilgrimage. We don't have many walking trails in the United States, like some countries do, like Spain and Great Britain. We have very few. We have the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Crest Trail, the Florida Trail, but I would like to do some trail that's through my territory, maybe start at the confluence of the Altamaha River and walk all the way down to the coast. I don't know, but sometimes I'm really just telling you all this to talk to you about failure, because I think if you beat up yourself, if you self-flagellate because of the things you don't get done, you insult the angel inside of you, right? I put tons of things down on my New Year's resolutions list, and I definitely don't get all of them done. I don't even care that I don't get all of them done. Some are just things I want to work toward. Some are multi-year goals. I usually get to most things over time. Yeah. No self-flagellation. Okay. So what to never do? Don't self-flagellate. Do not expose your dreams to naysayers, to people who don't believe in you, to meanness, to mean editors, to people who are going to drag you down, to your oppressors, to idiocy. Do not expose your dreams to those people. Some science makes the conclusion that too much talking about your dreams will undermine the dream itself. The theory behind that is that the dopamine is a neurotransmitter. It's called the pleasure chemical, and it gives you the feeling of reward. So the thought there is that the dopamine hit you get from talking about your dream will actually prevent you from doing the work needed to achieve it. Number 3, do not fail to keep agreements with yourself and with spirit, with God, with the dreamer. The last one, do not insult the dreamer, the spirits, the ancestors, God, the God you worship. If you do, all the invisible forces, do not insult them. Those forces are your friends. And this is what you have to do. Number 1, set goals like a crazy person. 2, revisit your goals daily. Jose Trujillo is a painter with a big media influence, and he talks, my husband Raven is a painter, and Raven watches him or follows him, and Jose talks a lot about revisiting your dreams every day, rewriting them in the morning. I think Jose does it in the morning and the evening. I actually copied out my 2022 resolutions list and posted on the wall so that I can see it daily. I have a vision board on my wall where I can see where I want to go. Early in the morning, think of this vision you have, who you want to be, what your values are. Think about how you want your life to feel. Think about what you want to do with the day. My morning routine involves gratitude for what I have, which is so much gratitude, meditation, prayer, gratitude for my ancestors, for my health, for my legs, for my feet, for all the opportunities that I'm given, for clarity of mind. So much gratitude for community, for friends, for people I love, for people who love me, for all the gifts that people give me, which are multitudinous. So much gratitude. And I try to get clear each morning on what I'm put on earth to do, what that day should look like, could look like to get me toward that. And then at the end of the day, Fleet Mall suggests that you are the recipient of what you did with the day. So you live with your own consequences. Acknowledge the things that you're proud of. Fleet says at night, ask yourself, what's something I want to thank myself for today? So next, you got to bust out and start generating more. More it is of whatever you need. More energy, more awake time, more belief in yourself, more words, more stories, more ideas, more time, more energy, more money. And then you have to make smart decisions with those things. That energy, the words, the stories, the ideas, the time, the money. What is a smart decision? It's the thing on the list that moves you the farthest, the fastest. My writing mentor, Bill Kittredge, said to me once, a poem won't change your life. A short story won't change your life. A book will change your life. Do the book. In his class, I instantly began writing a book because of that. I wrote my first book between the first year and the second year of grad school that summer. The poem is easier. Sweeping the floor is easier. You get that dopamine rush, but permanent, profound, lasting change comes about with the big dream. Trust me. Very important. Next, visualize yourself where you want to be. Get the feeling of being there. Make it feel real. Visualize what you'll be wearing, who'll be there with you, what people will be saying. I read this in a Gay Hendricks book where he's talking about the 4 levels of genius. He talked about Bonnie Raitt. So Bonnie was drinking a lot, and she was traveling around the country playing at blues clubs, just a regular old blues musician. And then she got sober. So she came out with this breakthrough kind of R&B album called Nick of Time. Bonnie Raitt confessed later that she imagined herself at the Grammys. She even imagined what her dress would look like. And she won multiple Grammys. As my friend, Reverend Antoine Nixon says to me, live in your imagination. Some of us are going to have to change bad habits. One thing that helped Bonnie Raitt was that she stopped drinking. The habits that are hard to change are hooked with suffering. These habits like smoking or overeating or thinking of the negative first rewarded you in some way that's connected to trauma, to stress, to pain. And to change these habits is going to take a lot of willpower. Fleet Mall had some help on this front when he's talking about willpower. He says that minute by minute in a day, willpower is the ability to make your choices consistent with your big goals. So this is about putting yourself in a positive position to move forward. The way to undo a negative habit is with deep compassion for yourself, lots of self-care. Eduardo Duran talks about offering your suffering up to the benefit of others. Offer the bad habit up to the benefit of others. So you have to break the negative response with a positive response. And so instead of a cigarette, for example, train yourself to take a short walk. Now, self-care on a bigger level is different for different people. It could be, for some, a long walk, a run in the woods. It's often different between men and women. It could be a salts bath. It could be yoga, meditation. It could be time in the workshop, turning a wooden bowl. It could be gardening. Think about the things that make you feel better, that put you in flow, that improve your health. And when you find yourself beaten up by your old habits and beliefs, do something that you love. Love yourself. Take your dream, just the same way you would take your suffering, and offer it up to the benefit of others. There is so much medicine around your dreams. Who do you offer them up to? Offer them up. And this would be a great free write, actually. To whom do I offer my dreams? 2 more. You have more time than you realize. As Gay Hendricks says very clearly, you make time or you don't make time. You are the source of time. Go make yourself some time. And last, all that you need to know dwells already inside your own body, your own heart, your own mind. Already. It's there. Everything you need to know. Find it, uncover it, get a friend to help you find it, accept it, but it's there. Before I end, I'd like to acknowledge my teachers in this case. In the case of goal setting, I want to thank Capitolia Eaton, Fleet Mall, Seth Godin, Claire Zammit, my yoga teacher, Mary Brown, many others. I thank anyone who's been my teacher. I thank Bill Kittredge. I thank Raven Waters for the beautiful painting behind me of Okefenokee Swamp. I'd love to do a Zoom with his beautiful work behind me. If your dreams involve writing and you want to get better at it, I teach Zoom courses on writing, and information about that and about me in general can be found at my website, which is janisseray.com. And Janice is spelled Janisse. Ray is RAY, janisseray.com. Remember, Congressman John Lewis said, you must do all you can while you occupy your space during your lifetime. Remember from Thoreau, he says, I learned this at least by my experiment, that if one advances confidently in the direction of her dreams, and her is my pronoun, if one advances confidently in the direction of her dreams and endeavors to live the life which she has imagined, she will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Remember, luck comes to the brave. And last one, Raven has been reading Starry Messenger, which is the latest book by Neil deGrasse Tyson. And at the very end, he has a quote by Horace Mann, the great educator. And Horace Mann says this, I beseech you to treasure up in your hearts these parting words, be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity. Thank you. I wish you all the best. All the best.